Okay, now for the cloud colours, we're going to use some of the burnt umber, French ultramarine, a bit of titanium white, and a little bit of the crimson in there. And we'll see how that looks. Be very careful when you're using the alizarin crimson. It's an extremely strong colour. You only need tiny amounts of it to really alter the colour of your pigment. We did have some cobalt violet under here somewhere, I believe. So I don't know how well the palette camera kind of picks all this up. Just trying to mix a grey that's nice and vibrant, not flat. And it's definitely on the violet side of the spectrum. Let's have a look. A little bit on the red side, so add a little bit more of the French ultramarine in there, maybe a little bit more of the burnt umber. It's all about adjusting and trying to get these values right and just offering it up to the canvas and just seeing how it looks. It's too brown, so a bit more of the blue in there. Yeah, see, that's a bit better. It's probably a little bit on the dark side, so we're going to just take that down with the titanium white. But again, I don't know how well the camera picks up the subtleties really, but it's just so much of a nicer grey than you'd get just mixing black and white. Black and white will just be really flat, lifeless, and it's not something you really want to be doing. So I'm just trying to kind of follow what, but when you're painting things in nature, always try and vary your colours and your tones, because you're trying to, nothing's, because of the way light works, the way nature works, nothing's ever consistently one colour. And you've got to be looking out for that when you're painting, and that's what will stop your paintings from looking flat. It's making you sure that you've accounted for those variations in nature. I'm just brushing a bit more of the sky colour in there where we've got some gaps. Not too much, it's just slight gaps, but I'll try and keep some of these gaps if I can. Maybe try and add a little bit of yellow. Sometimes I'll just tinker with the colours, adding what I think will help, and then you just offer it up to the canvas, and then you can see. So just add a little bit of the Naples yellow in there. Let's kind of lighten that off a bit. Okay, so we'll take that brush. Let's just wipe the paint off from the previous blend. So using the big brush with no paint on it, just going to try and blend this. So it may be that we need to let the paint dry from below before we do the outer edges of the clouds, because you won't get, where there's a crisp edge, you're not going to get that when the paint's wet below. You're not going to get that when the paint's wet below, but I'm going to stand up for this bit so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Hopefully I'm not getting too much of my arm or body in the shot, but the good thing about blending when the paint below is wet is you can get some of that fluffy kind of cloud textures in there. Just using long strokes to smooth that out and get the blending as good as we can get.
sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me.